The battle goes on. Diomedes, inspired by the goddess Athena, found the glory he was looking for. He seemed to glow with fire of the battle as he tore into the heart of the fight. All over the battlefield he dealt out of death and destruction, taking armor and horses for the Greeks. Men died on the hissing point of his spear, under the terrible chop of his bronze sword, or crushed under the wheel of his chariot. He cut out a line of death just as a winter gale cuts down trees. Pandarus, the Trojan truce-breaker, saw him and swore to take him out of the battle. He aimed his bow and hit the edge of Diomedes' breastplate as he pushed into the fray. Pandarus saw that his arrow had wounded Diomedes and yelled in triumph, "Come on, Trojans, forward! Forward, charioteers! Their best man is badly wounded. I, Pandarus, have done it. He won't last long now." Diomedes held the arrow stuck in his shoulder and called out on this charioteer, "Quick, pull this arrow out. Hurry! Cut it out if you have to." No sooner said than done. Diomedes, healed as a prayer to Athena roared back into the battle like the bravest of lions. In the melee of men and swords and horses and flying spears, he found his enemy. Pandarus threw first and missed. Diomedes cast his hissing spear and hit the Trojan archer on the nose, beside his eyes. The spear passed through his teeth, cut off his tongue, and came out under his chin. His burnished armor crashed as he fell from his chariot. His friend Anicius stood over the body to protect it from being stripped of armor. Diomedes flung a huge rock at the spear-carrying Anicius and crushed his thigh. The world went black for Anicius, and he would have died if Aphrodite hadn't rescued him. The Trojans needed a hero as brave as the bravest Greek. The Greeks were threatening to break through the huge gates of Troy itself. The god Ares, disguised as Acamaysis, a hot-blooded ally of the Trojans, demanded to know where the royal princes of the cities were hiding. "Are you going to let the Greeks walk into your city? Are you going to leave your dead and dying to be desecrated by pariah dogs and carrion birds? We need Hector to take on the battle, if he has the courage." Ares, using the voice of Acamaysis, called back around the battlefield and mocked the Trojan chief. Others joined in the mockery. "Come on, Hector, stop using your silver tongue. You'll tell us next you can hold the gates of Troy. Just you and your brothers and sisters. We don't see one of them here. Are your allies, who come over here in the land and sea, to be abandoned in the battle, while you and yours spend time behind the walls of the city?" The shouts were angry now. "You leave us to face the Greeks alone. Get out here and fight." There was little time left then before the Trojans' allies would desert and leave the battlefields to the Greeks.